of water. So how long is this thing supposed to cook? It's an hour at 350 degrees. We're a little tight for time. Walt, let's try half an hour at 700.
Stoves don't go that high, Freddie.
Actually, this one does. Yeah, oh yeah. If you put it on self-clean.
In 10 minutes, it was in the oven, which has to be a record even for Maggie. When it was cooked, I rushed it out to the 4x4. Woo-hoo, no problem about keeping it warm. Waved a thank you to Freddie and blasted off through the snow to the hall. At 13 minutes past 6, I jogged up the steps of the Orange Hall and met Maggie coming out of the cloakroom with a casserole dish in her hands.
There you are. I thought you'd gone into the ditch somewhere. Where on earth have you been? And what's that?
Well, you wanted me to pick up the casserole.
Well, I got the casserole myself. But my dress wasn't ironed. Chores weren't done. And Spike was looking at me as if he hadn't been fed. Hello, Vi. Here. Did you remember anything I said?
I thought Spike ate the casserole. He was licking out the dish when I came into the kitchen. Hi, Victor.
That was some toast I put down for him after breakfast. The casserole was in the oven. I have more than one casserole dish, Walt. Now, what's that? Hi, Bernice.
Well, Freddie and I made another casserole, so now we have two. Frank, how are you?
It looks lovely, Walt. Take that back out to the 4x4 right now.
It was a beautiful supper. Maggie looked divine in her blue dress. Her casserole vanished in seconds. She was reinstalled as treasurer. Outgoing President Elsie Burton was honored for delivering her 10,000th Meal on Wheels for seniors. She was too shy to say anything but thank you. And she was thrilled with her prize, which was a 3-day bus trip to Nashville. Spike got his kibble a little later than usual that night. We tried him on Freddie's casserole. But he couldn't eat it. Still, Freddie and I decided to hang on to the recipe. We think we may have invented a new roofing material. Yours sincerely, Walt. Dear Ed, I've acquired horses in descending order of mobility. My first, feed bin, is actually quite spirited, though erratic. My second, mortgage, is not self-motivated and would rather stay in the barn. Once on the move, though, she can do as much damage as feed bin. My third's an old draft horse named King, who hardly ever moves at all. If I buy another horse, it'll have to be a statue. I have no idea how old these horses are. Going down to the stable now is a bit like going to the Legion. Phoebe's all gray around the muzzle. Mortgage has the beginnings of white eye, and King, well, I understand if King lives another year, he'll get a letter from the Queen. This morning, I decided to get feed bin and mortgage out with the buggy. I may be pushing the season a bit, but it's been a long winter. I figured it would do us all good to get the adrenaline flowing. The 25 side road is a tricky drive this time of year. Where the road follows the river, you have to watch out for people like Don, my dairy farming neighbor to the south, who drives along the wrong side of the road, leaning out his window, scanning the creek for fish. This morning I could see him meandering along towards us after we turned the corner from the 7th line. Thankfully, he saw us in time, yanked his truck back over to his side of the road and passed us. Then he pulled a U-E in the intersection and came up alongside us.
So, how you finding married life, Walt?
No complaints, Don. I'm a lucky man.
We'll get you out here in a couple of weeks with a fly rod, Walt. Then we'll see if you're a lucky man. How are the horses?
So far, so good, but if this is a visit, I think I'll tie them up to the road sign here. What's this? Regional Road number 4. This some kind of joke?
How about that? I guess it's part of the restructuring.
Restructuring?
Yeah. They got numbers now for all the roads.
They had numbers. That's the 7th line. This is the 25 side road.
Thing of the past, Walt. They're putting all the townships together, Larkspur too. Gonna make one big local government called the Region of Hillview.
Hillview? When did this happen?
It's been in the paper every week for about 6 months, Walt.
No offense, Ed, but I find the council reports pretty tough to get through. They're like the road between Winnipeg and Calgary. They could do with some editing. That's unbelievable, Don. The township's been here for 125 years. It's the oldest continuous form of government in the country. How can they just do away with it?
Well, Walt, no one's gonna miss it. Wasn't much more than a dry place to play cards. That's why I got off the council.
But the history and the motto. Passem arborum orarum lucerent. The changing trees are the guides to the seasons.
Is that what it means? I always thought it meant pass the bower, lose for an hour.
Without history, we have no memory, Don. Don't see what's happening? We're losing all the old signposts.
You taking down a few signposts yourself with them horses, Walt.
I noticed we were blocking the road for an ancient Dodge pickup. It was the Squires, my neighbor across the road. Up here, if the road is blocked by vehicles, it doesn't mean there's an obstruction. It means the meeting's called to order.
Good day, fellas. Say, what's the matter with these horses, Walt? I never seen them standing in one place so long without busting something. Hey, that horse going white in the eye?
Yeah, she is. The vet says she may be going blind.
You've great faith in the veterinarian, Walter.
Well, don't you?
When I kept livestock, I had more faith in the tobacconist. You can treat a horse with drugs all you want, but tobacco is the stuff that cures him. We used to give a horse chewing tobacco for the worms.
And they swallowed it? That stuff's poison.
Yeah, I know. Killed the worms dead. Never seemed to hurt the horses much. Of course, it's habit forming. But in them days, didn't cost that much to support a horse's tobacco habit. Whenever old Peanut flared up with a white eye, I just spit tobacco juice in his eye. 3 times a day for a week, cleared it up every time. And the surprising thing is, we stayed friends. Anyways, ask Jimmy to come down and have a look at her.
Jimmy?
Yeah, Jimmy knows the horses.
Jimmy's dead.
Jimmy died 2 years ago, Squire.
I know that. I know that. No, I just meant you should have asked him if he was here, that's all. You fellas a clear path, I gotta move on.
He shuffled off back to his truck. Now, what was that all about?
Well, he's been getting confused lately, Walt. Kind of living in the past, I guess.
I notice he talks more and more about the past.